Peace, brother Tawfyq. How you?
Peace. I'm fine. All praise is due to the Most High. Shalom, Elohim, Alafiyah, Hotep, Islam, Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Alright, God. I just want to congratulate you on the success you had at the Kemetic Institute of Combat at the National Black Theater.
Thank you.
You know, I know you put a lot of hard work into there, and you know, I just want to congratulate you on your success with that. You know, I would like for you to introduce yourself and give some history on yourself on the show, because I want people to know who you are. That you're not no brother that just came along yesterday. You've been doing this for a minute.
Absolutely. First of all, I'm Lord Tawfyq, Dr. Shaka Zulu of the Universal Order, Grand Sheik of Zulu Nation Kemetic Moors, presently here in the planet Earth, also known as Ki. I've also been teaching martial arts and martial sciences for over 15 years. I've been practicing martial arts since the age of 5. I've been taking up many different disciplines such as Kung Fu, Wushu, Chi Na, Kung Fu, as well as Qi Kong, practicing Tai Chi systems and so forth. I also elevated into Taekwondo, Hapkido, and so forth, and did a little supplemental training in ninjutsu and boxing. One of my foundations of fighting came from one of the greatest teachers of all time, which was the late, great Johnny Bowman, who was a master scientist of boxing. And also one of the greatest trainers that are still living right now to this day is Brother Larry Davis, also known as Tumbler Davis, Aaron Superman Davis's father, who I also have a very great foundation of training with, as well as you also, Brother Malachi.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I remember going home with a few lumps after a few of our sparring sessions.
Yeah, I remember them days, boy. We used to go at it, battling.
For sure.
Made us warriors.
For sure. That's one of the main reasons why I'm happy to see you succeed nowadays, because you know a lot of brothers that was with us back then are not around anymore. And the ones that are have not continued to grow and elevate the way you have. You know, so I want to congratulate you on that as well.
All praises due to the Most High. Thank you.
You know, I want to know what was it that made you want to uncover the truth about the Kemetic origins of the arts? A lot of people still think that it originated out in the Orient and give credit to other people.
Exactly. Well, you know, being a metaphysician or Kemetophysician and looking at things from the holistic approach, we want to go to the root of the problem, or the root of the subluxation of the scenario. And going to the root is that we find that history is his story and mysteries is my story. So in order to, history is best rewarded by research. So being a universal scholar and being a researcher, investigative researcher, we now, being a martial artist and a martial scientist for well over 15, 20 years, now it, you know, propels us to now dig into into the Kemetic origins as to the martial arts. We're finding out that a lot of these techniques did not originate from out of China, did not originate from out of Japan, and so forth like that. We find it out that we start digging in deeper in the history and halls and walls of society, and what is known in the Metu Neter, in the tomb of Imhotep, we find in the hieroglyphs and the Beni Hassan glyphs of Kemetic brothers and sisters performing martial art maneuvers, and today what is known as grappling and different other sciences that we're practicing today, and so forth like that. So today, the reason why we're doing this type of thing is to unveil the truth. And it's not to, you know, discredit anyone else, you know, because yes, as a martial scientist, I'm going to still give credit and praise to the Chinese and the Chinese culture for preserving it, the Japanese for preserving the Kung Fu and the Karate and this technique and that technique. However, it is only to be known at this point in day and time right now that it originates right here in Africa, right from the land of Kush, from the land of Kemetic, okay? And that's why we're doing this today, right here, Dr. Shaka Zulu style.
Yeah, I feel that. You know, I also think that that's going to give our youth a lot of higher self-esteem for themselves as they grow older, because they're going to look towards themselves instead of somebody else as the originators of our own arts. You know, I also noticed that there were a lot of youth at your event as well, right? How is it that the youth will benefit from attending your event and also getting involved with the arts?
Well, the reason why a lot of the youth perhaps was so encouraging coming, and it was so, and we had a lot of wonderful turnout, was because of the elements that attracts the youth to the martial arts. We instill in the martial arts, especially from the Kemetic approach, we instill with them not just self-defense, but self-esteem. We also encourage them confidence. We also encourage them to deal with what they call as success. You know what I mean? Elements of empowerment and so forth like that. And this is what is stressed in today's martial arts, as well as discipline. A lot of the parents today, they don't have no idea what to do with their children because they don't have no levels of discipline. They're more scared of the child than the child is scared of the parent. It shouldn't be that way. You know what I mean? And that's why they bring their children over to here, to the University of the Kmtic Institute of Combat, in which we teach the children the proper way and usage of this channelment of energy, and that's known as discipline.
Alright, I feel that. But how old were you when you started with the arts?
I was blessed, Brother Malachi. I was blessed because my family, they brought me into the martial arts since the age of 5, and I've been blessed to take up many different disciplines of the martial sciences. And, I also have a great background, in the boxing realm. We used to, scrap it out, go different places around the country and so forth like that. Boxing tournaments, myself and yourself and our team getting up 5, 6 in the morning, hard work training, picking up the big logs, running 10 miles a day and so forth. Crazy Larry Davis Tumbler used to do,
No doubt.
And everybody who's still trained with Tumbler, they know how he do,
For sure. I feel that. It's like a lot of the youth that were present there, hopefully they'll be doing what you're doing in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we would like to show more of that because another reason why the youth was also interested is because we have been having a long-standing track record of overcoming the negative to the positive through the teachings of Zulu Nation, and through the holistic Kemetic metaphysic approach. And what also we've been doing which has been very successful, is being the fact that Zulu Nation is the alpha and omega of hip-hop, the culture.
True that.
You know what I'm saying? And what it is that also has a direct linkage to the martial arts and the martial sciences. And today we're seeing that through what is known as the 5 elements of hip-hop, with the b-boy, which is the main one that we want to talk about. The b-boy element is so closely related to a martial science, what is known as capoeira, which today is known supposedly to come out of Brazil, but in reality does not come from out of Brazil. It is taught now from out of Brazil, but actually comes from out of Angola and Africa, of Kemet. Okay? So we're going to give credit where credit is due, but you got to give us back too. Okay? And that's what this is all about today. And also the hip-hop involvement, which we wanted to do, and you'll see during the showing, where you'll also see one of the greatest showings of all time, which was Grandmaster Happy Crumb, who is one of the oldest godfathers of Kung Fu and Karate. He's one of the greatest grandmasters of Karate. He actually not just went back, but he went black. He actually created his own art and system, what is known as the robot or android. Way before anybody was even thinking about doing this type of thing in the ring. He was so successful with doing these type of techniques that even the Japanese from Japan came over here with their team of championship fighters, and they all went all out at a kickboxing tournament, and the brother was able to do the robot and kickbox and karate, to his own rhythm that was unstoppable for them. They couldn't even deal with that, and he shut them down. So they had to give him his own right and his own passage and his own thing. His own karate rule. But it was under the robot system and so forth. And that's Grandmaster Happy Crumb, who you will see. And I had the honor to work along with this brother, and master some of the sciences of the robot kendo, system. So, that's another reason why a lot of the youth, they was very, very interested in that, is because they see themselves in the martial art, because they see themselves, hip-hopping, they see themselves spinning on their head or dancing, and they say, wow, this is applicable to self-defense. They also see the self-defense also applicable to that. They also see that the self-defense also is applicable to the mathematics in school, in which some of these students is failing in. They also see that how martial arts instills in them discipline that requires them to read more. When a person reads more, they comprehend more. So therefore, we are winning the war over illiteracy, you know what I'm saying, with martial arts, through the science of martial sciences, through the Kemetic approach. And this is what we try to, teach through the Kemetic Institute of Combat, brother.
Yeah, I feel it. I also see that what separated your event from a lot of other events was that it was more culturally based than a lot of other events, which of course it should be, because the other ones are just imitations of what y'all do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to know also that how you want to close this out.
Well, how I want to close this out is one thing that I want to make sure that the people get before they close out and shut us down is that when you look at our event, I want to make sure that you see there's certain, we do things for a certain reason. You'll notice that I never mentioned the name Black. Very, 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 very less. I kept announcing the name Kemetic, Nubian, to try to transform some of the people's brainwaves, out of the chains of negativity and so forth, of releasing that. Yes, we know what it is, we know what it's not, but we have to get away from those chains of enslavement and so forth. So this is why I kept using the names and titles of Nubians and Kemites and so forth like that. And yes, in this tournament or this extravagant documentary event that we had, yes, you will not see anyone else other than people that look like you and I doing these techniques. That was the moral reason of this type of event. You know what I'm saying? To show the Kemetic origins of martial arts. Yes, we get thanks. We tired of seeing Jackie Chan, tired of seeing fake this one, Jet Li and so forth like that. Whereas Jet Li and them came to the neighborhood, they get put on.
For sure.
Let them come to my neighborhood in the Bronx and see what happens. Let them come to the 125th Street and see what happens and so forth like that.
I feel that. I feel that. Do you want to name any of the elders and some of the other people that assisted you with this event?
Absolutely. I want to give a lot of all praises due to the Most High. Also want to thank Grandmaster, one of the greatest godfathers ever that is still living of the Jiu-Jitsu clan, which is Grandmaster Shihan Otis Harris, who opened up Jiu-Jitsu here in Harlem, over at the Harlem Wives School of Jiu-Jitsu for almost 20 years and so forth. And I had the privilege of working and studying under him for quite some time, as well as all of the other instructors that also work out under there, such as Dr. Darlene DeFore, who is now the present head instructor and Grand Mistress of the Harlem School of Jiu-Jitsu. We have a very large class there with very well gifted instructors, and we definitely have a lot of stuff to teach to the people there. We meet there Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I also am available to do private instruction, where I'm able to get more involved with the Kemetic aspect of the martial arts, whether for lecturing or whether it's for actually doing personal one-on-one training, because I'm also a holistic consultant and a practitioner. And this is serious. We're third eye beings. We utilize the sciences for healing. And in order to hurt, you also have to know the power of healing. And that's what we do here, and that's what we teach here, and so forth. Anything else that I wanted to add on to was also about, there's some things that we did kind of like leave out because the crowd was kind of G-rated and we was running behind time. So some of the things that I would like to share is something I wanted to just read from. That the Egyptian word for the eternal spirit was Shen. In the Chinese mystical philosophy, Shen means eternal spirit. The historical evidence shows that the early Chinese dynasties, such as the Shang dynasty and the Chao dynasty, were linked to northeast Africa, and the area now referred to as the Middle East. As the Middle Eastern inscription read, Osiris, at the time he ruled Egypt, extended the Egyptian culture to the farthest regions of Asia. The Tao of Ti Chang was the first written record outside of Egypt, which discussed the use of breathing exercises. Just before the written appearances of Yoga Sutras and the teachings of Buddha, Tao philosophy was also the first known teaching outside of Egypt, which held as the main idea that all creation is composed of two opposites but complementary forces, which were called Horus and Set, but now is called Yin and Yang. That shows the Kemetic origins of the martial arts right then and there. Another thing that I will also take the time to show you and share with you also that a lot of individuals don't know about is the mighty Kung family of Africa. The Kung family of Africa was an ancient civilization of a tribe that lived in Africa, and we would like for you to look it up. But for further information, you can always look in Brother Ashwa Kwesi has some of this. Brother Dr. Muata Ashby in his book Yoga, Egyptian Yoga, which is some of the stuff that I'm reading from as well. But in the Kung people of Africa, you have the knowledge of the life force, which is inherent in the human body, which was known as the Rahbutu in Egypt, Kundalini in India, Chi in China, Ki in Japan, and Prana in India. Okay? The Kung nation of Africa, who reside in the Kalahari Desert, are one of the societies referred to as the Bushmen. They possess the knowledge of the inner life force, and from ancient times practiced the disciplines to arouse it for the purpose of attaining spiritual evolution. The Kung practitioners describe the classical life force arousal, which begins at the pelvic region and moves up and back arises to the brain, there causing ecstatic and mystical experiences which allow the practitioners to attain expanded states of consciousness known to them as Ki. This is also known as what is known as Ki in the martial arts sciences, the cultivation of the mind, body, and soul with the breath, the science of breath life. Showing you right there from what I was reading the ancient Kemetic origins of martial arts, the science of breath. If there's no breath, then there's no life. There's no life, there's no breath. Air is all of the minute particles that exist all around us, but we invert it into the body, constitute and equates into now what is known as energy, which is now known as Chi or Ki, Prana.
Alright, son, I feel that. Once again, I would like to congratulate you on your success. And if is there a contact number where people can reach you at?
Sure, they are welcome to email me at drshakazulu@aol.com, and that's drshakazulu@aol.com.
All right.
Peace.
Peace, Almighty.
Peace, though.
That encompasses so many different styles and so many different techniques and knowledge and wisdom, and young people, as well as different energies coming together. A lot of times, the first initial effort can be somewhat fraught with different setbacks. But I see you all have been patient, and we really appreciate that. And you can give yourselves a round of applause for being such a wonderful audience. Yes. Because it's through you and through your support that will continue to make endeavors like this happen. I know you're out here to support your various family members and loved ones, but the brother who put the energy and time to collectively say, hey, we have a rich history in the martial arts that many people don't know. A lot of those practice states that are really originally from the source of the people who brought it to earth in the first place. So the brother will break down the science of the martial arts, the different martial arts, how you interrelate, and how you may be practicing the style right now that leads back to a place that could be surprising to you. So definitely sit tight. You're going to learn a lot, you're going to be entertained, and you're really going to enjoy seeing your friends, families, and loved ones perform. My name is Herman Smalls. I'm going to be recording excerpts from it for my show. We have several other individuals here that have cable shows, so you're going to have the opportunity to see this on cable as well. So you will be rewarded for your patience. Without any further ado, we're going to bring the professor himself, and he deserves a monumental hand of applause as he comes out and shares his knowledge about the arts and where they come from. Let's give it to the first brother.
Thank you all for coming out to the first annual Kemetic Institute of Combat Extravaganza, Martial Arts Extravaganza, featuring the best in your community at martial arts. First, I want to start off with some of the reasons why we're here today doing what we're doing. Some of the reasons why we're doing here is because of part of the misinformation that's been going out over the number of years concerning the true legacy of the martial arts. And the true legacy of the martial arts, a lot of people, when they think about martial arts, when they say karate, kung fu, judo, jiu-jitsu, and so forth, a lot of people tend to think that we're speaking about other individuals a part of our human family, such as only the Asians from China or from Japan. However, this is very untrue. Actually, the main stuff where martial arts come from, it originates, is in Africa. Africa's contribution to the martial arts started way well before 100 years, 200 years. We have pictures today to show you, okay, about Africa's contribution to the martial arts, starting from out of Egypt, in ancient Kemetic, from out of the tombs of Imhotep. What I've done was done some research, and we've come to find in the Beni Hassan glyphs, you'll see the Nubian Kemetic priests doing what is known in jiu-jitsu schools as grappling. If y'all can see. Now, I'll see all this needs to be done. All right. Right here, you'll see many of the graphic parts right here, with the guys doing the grappling. As you can see, this stuff right here is dated 5,000 years. Way before any Chinese, Korean, Japanese ever thought about lifting up their foot. Okay? Way before they even thought about having any use of the animals or the weapons, started it right here. You can see the grappling parts right here. You see a leg lock and a headlock right here. Y'all can see? Alright. I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I know you guys are very impatient. I'm sorry, y'all very patient. They're very, very patient with me. I thank y'all very much. I'll show y'all some more clips. This is all for Black History Month. This is the main thing for Black History Month, is that we need to show and reinstill in our community the importance of martial arts, and that martial arts has always been a positive influence on the youth, especially in our community. There's always been a positive outlet as far as demonstrating self-defense, demonstrating discipline, and so forth, and mastery on the dojo as well as mastery in schools. Okay, for the parents who's having problems with their children in school at this time, you might want to send them down to the dojo, send them to the Harlem Y, might want to send them over to the bathhouse, might want to send them to some of the senseis that you will see demonstrating the arts here today. Okay, we stress, the importance of going to school, being on time, and having, the uniform looking correct, excelling in math, because all that also pertains to us as far as the Kemetic origins. If you teach that to your children, they'll excel a lot more better. Here you go see some more hieroglyphs of the Beni Hassan. Also, I'm going to take note, I'm just going to issue longer. You're also going to see the implementation of weapons. And this is where some of the weapons came from. You'll see here, what is this here? What does this look like? I want to give some bow and arrow, okay? Bow and arrow here. We have bow and arrow here. We have more grappling aspects right here. We have another one shooting a bow here. Okay? We have this right here. This brother's holding a spear and holding a shield. Next up, I'm going to show, along with that bow, you'll also see the implementation of what is known as the crossbow being done here in Africa, showing the brother or sister, because we also have sisters that was also a part of the warrior sciences as well. And tonight you'll see that. You'll see the gentleman here sitting down, placing the crossbow between the legs, aiming here, and here it is. And this is what it looks like. Today we will not see any crossbow flying, though. Okay? That's for the movies. Here we're going to bring it up a little bit more further. You see more of the traditional Africans or ancient Kemetics, Kemites, here with the spear, the long spear, and the shield. And we had techniques to deal with that. So the ancient Nubian brothers and sisters, well, the main contributors, I'm connecting the dots for y'all tonight. That's what we're doing. Here again, you see some more of your African ancestors doing martial arts way before any Chinese, any Japanese even thought about lifting up their leg on hey-ha-ooh. Okay? Here it is, you see there's another guy here. Well, right here, I'm going to show you these weapons here. These are sickle knives. And these knives are, and here it is, this is known as like an axe. Okay? These are all weapons that we have in Egypt. This gentleman here looks like he could be Shaka Zulu. Who in here knows about Shaka Zulu? We should all know about Shaka Zulu. You know, this is, you know, ancient, original military warfare strategy. We have learned about Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu, I'm sure with y'all, was a warrior within the Zulu nation. Shaka Zulu, his claim to fame is that he transformed the science of warfare forever, tremendously. How he did that was at that time in Africa, when the Zulus and other warring tribes would fight, the style and the way that we would fight would be with spears, long spears. And what would happen was you would have this tribe on that side and this tribe on this side. And one way was that we would have the best dancers amongst us, and we would compete in dancing. And whoever won the dance doing the stuff, that's who wanted to go to the tribe. After that, then it escalated and evolved into more seriousness, which became where we got into the throwing of the spears, whereas today they use that in sports, the javelin throwing. Okay? Y'all know I got seen the Olympics, you see the javelins. They learned that from the African spear throwers. We used to be on one side of the tribe, and the other tribe be on that side. He had his spear thrower, I have my spear thrower, and we throw. Shaka Zulu, however, transformed warfare by saying, forget that. And he was getting too crazy, so what he did was, he said, every time I throw my spear, and then I had to go and fight these guys unarmed, what he did was, he said, to mess with that. He took the spear, broke it in half, and it became the center. With that, he ran up on the enemy, close combat, and went into him with the spear, which you'll see here. This is what is known as the Sengai, what Shaka Zulu used to transform warfare. This was a lot longer. It used to be about maybe 12 feet. You see that sometimes the Kung Fu guys in some of the movies, they use it, they use the long one, and when they move with it, this is where it actually came from. And they broke it. Shaka Zulu transformed warfare and fighting tremendously by breaking it in half. And now you have this, which now enabled him to go up close to his enemy and go right into him and get rid of, take him out. Alright? Your brother Shaka Zulu. Back then, and we still have Shaka Zulus today. Move along. Show you some more weapons. These right here are, we have the, known as the priest. And the priest, everybody thinks today that priest was all, I'm not talking about the Catholic priest, I'm talking about priests in general, But the priests, or spiritual brothers and sisters, Kemetic priests, were also trained in the art of fighting. And they mastered that. And they also used to carry along with themselves daggers and knives. And as you can see, you have this priest here, Kemetic priest here, and this right here is adornment right here is the actual dagger that he has here. So he was the first dealing with disguise and deception. So this is where your roots of ninjutsu, they'll come from here. We started more advancing our techniques. You see more of the unarmed combat offensive and defensive elements of martial arts fighting. This comes from the karate aspect, but you see the ancient African brothers actually devising that from where they was at in South Africa. What you have is there's a few stories. You have what is known as capoeira. Capoeira came to Brazil, and it's a very beautiful art. However, capoeira actually comes from Africa, from Angola. All right, and there, the slaves there, when they were taken from out of Africa and brought over to Brazil, what they did was they disguised their fighting techniques into a sequence of dance, and that's what is called capoeira. And today you'll see some of that also. I'll show you some more of the Buddhists. Also, we also practice with sticks. So you see the first elements of us doing stick fighting and so forth. Some more moves, look a lot more acrobatic dancing style. As you can see, the Nubians start off in capoeira and over in Africa to show you the dancing, the finesse of it. See, breakdancing, everybody likes breakdancing, right? Well, this is where breakdancing comes from. The reason why breakdancing evolved into the dance was because when back in the days, the B-boys, when we used to have battles, the first battle, we said we got to stop this gang violence, stop this fighting each other. So we devised a series of dancing. And with this dancing, we call it breakdancing. None of us really knew where it actually came from. Up until later on, it started coming out from us. And what it was our ancient ancestors were coming through us. It was making the transmission. And here today you have it where we have capoeira, you have breakdancing, you have a lot of other forms of dance as well as martial arts. More dance on. That's something good for you to see. Here it is, you see two Nubians demonstrating stick fighting. This actual picture of stick fighting comes from out of Africa. At the same time, today you have an art presently called Kali, or the Screamer, which is coming out of the Philippines, right? It shows you the route to where it is. We've been looking and appreciating the fruit, but we have not looked into the root. Y'all got that? Again, you see more of the Kemetic dealing with science and strategy of warfare. Okay, you see Big Baba, Big Abu, which is father in African and Arabic languages. Abu Baba. You see him teaching his son here the science of fighting, warfare, and survival, because you have to teach young brothers, ancestors on how to hunt for their food in order to live, as well as also to defend themselves, their family, and their community. Today we're facing the same situation where we need to be teaching our young brothers and sisters how to defend themselves from the beast, the concrete beast. More stuff here. You see some brothers doing some unarmed combat activities. And to show you that is definitely Africans that's doing it, you can see the dressing that is there. For example, this guy here, dressing like he has a robe on. Perhaps this looks like a cross. It's not looking like a regular cross. It looks like more like an Ethiopian Kmtic cross. Okay? Over here you have this guy here. Please turn the cell phones off. Thank you. We don't interrupt anybody. Here you see this guy here with his hands up in a stance. As he's in the stance, you notice the thing on his head looks very much like a turban or a head wrap. So definitely know that definitely came from out of ancient Africa, northwest Africa. Okay, this gentleman here that's doing this with the sword in his hand, in the stance right here, he has a sash, the cover, okay, an apron, but what does this look like that's on his head here? It looks like a fez, and unfortunately I don't have my fez up here. However, that is known as a fez, and the fez is one of the most oldest pieces of headwear regarded for the highest minded of all of our peoples, known as the Moors. The Moors also contributed to the science of warfare by going in and conquering and beating up Spain and the Portuguese. And we ruled Spain for over 700 years, the Moors. And with that, they also civilized them. Thank you. This thing that you see on the gentleman's head here, that is what is known as a fez here that I have here. And this is the headwear. Those individuals that wear this is known as a crown. As in Islam, we call it the Taj. Taj in the Arabic means crown, or the Tawfyq. Okay? And individuals who wear that are known as Moors or Moorish Muslims or African descended Muslims. This actually comes from Africa. Show you another one. Here is showing the horse, the chariots, and also along with going out. So it shows you the whole of the 3 different stages of all dimensions of fighting and so forth, all from coming from out of ancient Africa. The science of the pyramids, the science of pyramids deals with angles, mathematics. We stress that in a lot of our martial arts schools here today. I know in the martial arts schools that I came to, they definitely made me excel in my mathematics and my science. And when you study in jiu-jitsu and and you get in judo, you get into learning about throwing people and so forth. There's a lot of techniques, sequence of techniques. You have to learn about balance. And balance in the ancient Nubic form was called as ma'at. And ma'at means balance. So we have some of that here. And I'm just going to move straight along because I want to bring some of the action out to you guys. Here you see some of the other decoration stuff that we would have. Some of these things here are weapons that we dressed up here. This right here, you see the ninjas, right? And you see what the ninjas have, what they throw, what they be thrown around, called ninja stars. What's this here? These are ninja stars. He has a dagger. Sword here, another one here. Like I said, take the time and you look at these. You also look at them after the lectures over the many of the song list, or if you want to get on the internet.